Hey everyone, Brody here with our new channel, Let's Table It, where we get games to the table. I have a Kickstarter copy of the Stifling Dark and its expansion with me that I'm going to unbox. The Stifling Dark is a 1 vs. many hidden movement horror board game with an innovative line of sight mechanic for 2 to 5 players. One player takes the role of the adversary, whose goal is to prevent the other players, the investigators, from escaping through the variety of unique actions. As an investigator, your goals are to survive and escape. Investigators move around the board in a point-to-point fashion using their base movement speed. They may sprint to move more quickly, but they need to keep an eye on their stamina so they don't become exhausted. Additionally, investigators can pick up and use items, they can lock or unlock doors, use their flashlights to try to find the adversary. Meanwhile, the adversary is secretly moving around the board, trying to stop the investigators from escaping. There are a variety of investigators to choose from, each with their own special abilities. The adversary also has multiple attacks and abilities that change how to play the game. Will you fix the car and drive out, or will you override the gate and try to sneak out? The investigators will need to decide if they want to stick together to watch each other's backs, or split up and race towards the exit. Either way, they must move quickly. The longer the game takes, the more chances the adversary has to stop them. The game ends when either all of the investigators escape, meaning that the investigators win, or the adversary achieves their win condition, which is different for each adversary. The game includes and uses a novel flashlight system to simulate true line of sight in the dead of night. Transparent acrylic templates quickly show exactly what the investigators can see and what spaces may still have things lurking in those shadows. The small flashlight is included in the base game, while the large flashlight is part of the Nightfall expansion. Both flashlights perform different functions. The Nightfall expansion also introduces flashlight augments, which lets you pick alternate use cards for your flashlight. You have multiple investigators to choose from. Clara Dunkley, as an experienced hiker, Clara seems to have a knack for seeking dangerous situations. Kai Christensen, Kai always seems to find what she is seeking. She's not just observant, she's gifted. Mitchell Carter, his indomitable will and relentless resolve make quick work of whatever life throws at him. Ibrahim Hess, Ibrahim knows it takes everyone to succeed, and he's willing to take a hit for the greater good. Asher Palacios, pain is just a sign to keep going, and Asher only knows how to push harder. Amelia Webb. Amelia was always fascinated by the dark corners of our reality and is drawn to occult places. Vincent Campbell, his mechanical knowledge has always been his greatest asset. Brielle Easton, living on the streets makes a person grow up fast. Brielle quickly learned how to watch her back. Kaya Prosser, ever curious of the supernatural, Kaya is able to draw energy from her environment. Winston Pitts. Winston is at his best out in the wilderness, able to use whatever's at hand to get by. And then we have the adversaries, the Butcher. Sure, I've heard the story. Everyone has some legend about what they call the Faceless Man. The Butcher, sometimes the Follower. Before he died, my father told me the whole thing. Most people think the Butcher was from the North Woods or the lawless frontier, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Nobody knows what became of him, but there sure are a lot of people who claim to see him in the dark corners of the world. You know the feeling. The hair on the neck stands up, chills down the spine, and out in the night you think you see a figure watching you, passing its own judgment. Then the insatiable horror. There are things that live in the molding soil and rotting hollows of the world that people weren't meant to see. Things that can make a person disappear without a trace, and you wouldn't be the first one to vanish either. People stumble into the nothing all the time, but nobody wants to face the ugly truth. Some say he took a trip and didn't come back, while others talk about how she just got lost. But I can tell you, people don't just get lost. They get taken. and then the Cult of Hunlo. We've all been to those places that make your skin crawl or heard unworldly howls well beyond midnight. Felt your mind scream for you to be anywhere else? Listen close. Don't ignore the instinct to turn and run. I've heard those unholy voices in the night, but I didn't turn away. Now I'm forever haunted by the memories of robed figures, burning flesh, and living nightmares being birthed onto this wretched earth. Never take blissful ignorance for granted, as there are many terrors that can't be unseen. And then there is the gameplay. Investigators move around the map searching for evidence of the paranormal or finding items and looking for the adversary. Sprinting helps you move faster while your flashlight illuminates the darkness, keeping what lurks, inside it at bay. Using a flashlight lowers its charge while sprinting lowers your stamina. You will need to manage these resources to survive. The adversary activation. As the butcher, your movement is hidden behind the player's screen. Avoid flashlights while stalking your next victim before you close in for the kill. Be wary as your actions leave traces about your true location. The adversary can be built differently each game. Choose from a number of unique attacks and abilities that suit your haunting preferences. The game includes a double-sided game board, a double-sided adversary mini-game board, 4 flashlights, 16 player standees, 13 player boards, 9 player aids, 7 dice, 105 mini cards, 32 mitigation cards, 33 wound cards, and 40 condition cards, 142 full-size cards, 20 of those are event cards, 55 of those are item cards, and 27 adversary ability cards with 40 evidence cards. 275 tokens, 55 are investigator tokens, 52 adversary tokens, 63 are item tokens, 25 supply tokens, 26 of them are door tokens, 22 map tokens, and 32 other tokens. There are 2 straight edges, the first player marker, the round tracker, and a player screen. The Nightfall expansion adds 4 large flashlights, 2 player standees, 2 player boards, 15 full-size cards, 5 of them are item cards, and 10 flashlight cards, 11 tokens with 6 of those are other tokens, and 5 item tokens. And then I got a package of 275 card sleeves, 165 full-size sleeves, and 110 mini sleeves. I hope this gives you a great idea what's inside this box, and if you have it and are playing it, good luck.